Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap. This is our pre-market session where we take a look at the structure of the market, where we are within the different time frames in terms of trends, and then drill down to find our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. If you're interested in finding out more about what we do in here, this is a live trade room. We do live trading and live market analysis during the course of the day. Send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com or give me a call 647-545-8065. Follow me on Twitter at crazy2, and let's get going. Before we start, let's get the legals done. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Yada, yada, yada. There's risk. You could lose more than you can make. And of course, each one has to trade their own metrics and their own due diligence. And past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, get those out of the way very quickly. Let's take a quick look at the news. There isn't a heck of a lot of news today. We've got Great Britain speaking at 1, Halden. We've got federal budget balance at 2. But other than that, most of our news was overnight. Weak news in China brought us down a bit overnight, but we'll see if we can pop back up and hold the 2000s here. So let's just take a look at the macro and the micro in terms of the trends. I'd like to start with just a simple basic bar chart and 2 moving averages. I use the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. I'm simply looking for slope and separation and where we're in consolidation or the trends are being challenged. As you can see, we've had great slope and separation on the monthly. We came down the last 2 months, closed below the 9 and the 20, and now we're up trying to challenge the 9 and the 20 from below. And this is possibly similar to this pattern right here, where we rallied after breaking down and then failed and started a downward trend. This trend here. But we don't know if we can pop back up and continue on. All we know is we're at a decision point here in terms of challenging the trend on the monthly. On the weekly, we had the strong downward trend with slope and separation, and then last week they popped back up and gave us our first close back above the 9. Currently we're trading in between the 9 and the 20. Test of the 9 will bring us up into the 20-30 area. A test of the, that's a test of the 20. A test of the 9 will take us down into the 1983-82 area. But the downtrend has been challenged and is being violated right now. Going down to the daily, different story. We had that trend down, we consolidated, and now we're above the 9 and the 20. We've got an upward trend started on the daily. A little bit of a tech gap right now on the daily. Move down to close that tech gap, bring us down into that 1982, 83 area. This is going to be an important area. I'm going to show you why. We do have a naked cross down here at the 1938-75 area, 39 area, but that's on the daily, so there's lots of time before that naked cross will be revisited again. Going down to the intraday, see if there's any trends coming into the RTH. See, we've had this strong upward trend on the 4-hour. It is being challenged right now. We're below the 9 and the 20. A move up to the 9 takes us back up into the 2005 area, the 20, 2001 and a quarter. So the trend is being challenged on the 4-hour. Going down to the 1-hour, a little bit of a different story. We've rolled over and we now have slope and separation to the downside. We created a technical gap, came up, closed the technical gap, and now we're moving back down and failed to get back above the 9. So the downward trend is starting on the 1-hour. We do have a naked cross here at 2008. So mark that down on your journal. Going down to the 30-minute, more of the same story. pretty strong trend to the downside. We created a tech gap with the move down, tried to close above and hold, couldn't hold, and back below the 9 and the 12 and got slope and separation to the downside. Going to the 15-minute, we've got slope, but we've lost separation, so they're starting to challenge this trend on the 15-minute. And then on the 5-minute, we do have slope and separation. So on the surface, we've got these intraday time frames that are showing weakness and a possible rollover. So let's go take a look at the big picture. We've been watching this microcomposite and this value area that goes from 1975 and a quarter down to 1891.50. We've been just gapping around inside of it. We tested the lower side, broke out, then came directly back inside, had this big trend day. Then we gapped up, accepted value here at 72.50, then broke out, accepted here at 82 and 82.50. This is why this 82 area is important. It's also important. There's a naked VPOC there as well. And then we had another trend day, and we've been holding value up here in around the 2007 and a quarter area, and overnight they fell out of this balance up here and are coming down and testing into the 1900s. So we are going to most likely open outside a range and outside a value with a gap, and this 1999 area is going to be an important area to define whether or not we stay above and come back up inside of range and inside of value and get a rotation back up into the 07. The gap is up here all the way at 2010.75. Yesterday we were looking for a move to that 1375, which was the Globex high, that we were trying to take out, and then the Globex high, which was 1250, and then the range high, which was at 1375. And going into the later part of the day, we were looking for that move up to take out the 1250, and they didn't do it in the RTH session. They did do it in the extended session, and they took it up. They finally made the move, but it doesn't count. It was a low percentage day. We did not have that 96% probability of taking out the overnight high or overnight low within the RTH session. So kind of a strange day yesterday. It was a holiday day, both here in Canada and in the States. So light volume and very small, tight rotation. Our full session ATR was only 12 and a quarter points. So again, we're tightening up. So let's take a look at where we are at in the Globex and start taking a look at where we want to look for trades today and what our main hypotheses are. So let's start with the overnight high and overnight low. We have an overnight high, one tick higher than that 1375 at 14. And our overnight low is all the way down at 96.75, I believe it is, 96.75. Okay, and then our overnight VPOC is 2050. And there's an LVN up here at 2005.75. We've got the value area low here at 04.75. So I'm going to use this area from 04.75 up to 5.75 as a key trade area for me. I want to be long above 05.75. I want to be short below 04.75. And then there's really not much more information that the overnight session is giving us. We're actually coming down. We could put a possibility of a new overnight low in while we're actually doing this session. So let's do the upper numbers first. I want to bring this out. Whoops. I want to bring this this and just tighten this up a bit so you can see we've got these. We've got a CLVN at 99.25, but we've got this range low at 98.75. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that 98.75 up to 99.25 as a trade area. So I want to wait to be above the CLVN at 99.25 for long and short below 98.75. And we're in this zipper area, okay, from the 10th. I'm sorry, from the 8th, I should say, which was Thursday. And, you know, there's a lot of repair to be done in this area here. So we're likely to rotate in around this area. Now the value area high is here at 98. So now I've got to incorporate 99.25, 98.75, and 98. So I'm going to adjust this slightly so that it incorporates the value area high here. This is going to be a key line for us today. If we can get above it, then I'm looking for rotation up into testing the range low, and then inside of the range testing the value area low and inside value, then going up and taking out the naked VPOC, testing the value area high, and then if we get above that, a move to take out the gap, the close. Below this, then I'm looking for a move down into the midpoint and the VWAP from that Thursday. The VWAP is only a couple ticks above where our September FOMC number was. In fact, Marvin and I will debate whether or not it was 91 or 91.25. So I'm just going to move it to the 91.25. You win, Marvin. And we've got the FOMC September number there with the VWAP from the 8th. So let's, we don't need the overnight, just let's take this and bring this into the picture so we get the bigger, longer term. Again, this is the zipper area that I was talking about on that big trend day. The CLVN at 99 with those 98s. 75s and 50s as a key trader. This is going to be a key line in the sand. Okay, and then our overnight low is right there, but we're, we could go ahead and put a new low. And if we do put a new low in while I'm talking, let me know. But if we don't get above that 99.25, I would, my main hypothesis would be to come down and take out this 96.75 overnight low so far, and a move down to test this 93.75 area. You do have a 95 CHVN, so I'm going to use that as a target. Let me just I got to do it this way, don't I? Sorry, I was having some difficulties with my IRT this morning. I gotta fix that later. I'll fix that later. It's not the way I want it to display. And then below that, we've got that midpoint from Thursday, and then below that we have that 91. This is going to be our main target below. And then this 89.50 is going to be shifted up to 89.75. Below that, target the October FOMC number, but what I'm really looking for is them to come down here into this 83. So 89.75 is going to be our second line in the sand, our line in the sand below. So if we get below this 89.75, I'm looking for a bigger move down into the 83, 82. It's actually 82.50, which is going to be our main target below this key line in the sand. Because if we can't hold in this upper distribution and we get into this lower, let me just bring this forward. We get into this this lower distribution, we're inside the value area of the 3-day, or the 2-day micro composite, and liable to come down. You've got the range high from from the 2 days that we accepted value just before the breakout, and where we accepted value after the breakout. So if we can't hold this 89.75 and we get back inside of the value area, then I'm looking for a move back into balance again at a price discovery down to find buyers at this 82.50, where we found them to launch us up into this level. Below that, we have our 20-day ATR target is running right now at 36. Our overnight high is 2014, so our downside ATR target, which is within range, is 1978. Now, the last few days we've had some tighter ranges. I think there was a 15 and a quarter point on Friday, and then 12 and a quarter point yesterday. So we're tightening our range up. This could be a day that we see range expansion and a bigger move. So we have to pay attention to our downside ATR targets. And then below that, we have the value area high of the longer term price acceptance that we've been just gapping around in down here at 75. So that becomes the next key line in the sand, because if we, this is no longer going to be valid, because if we get below the 75 and a quarter, then we're back inside of this value, and I'm looking for a bigger move back down into this 52 area. We've got targets at 73 and a quarter. That's going to be actually shifted to 72.75. Then we got a target at 70 and a quarter. This is going to be shifted to 68.75. And then below that, we've got the 64.50. Actually, this can be moved. And then the CHVN is 60, the 55, and then the 52. And then we get down into these other key lines. The 48.75 is my next line in the sand. That we get below that, then I think we'll come down and close this gap and come into these lower distribution where we have this undetermined fair value. Still a lot of repair to be done down in this area still. So those are my lower side numbers. Let's take a look at the top side. Of course, we get above the 99 and a quarter, then I'm looking for a move to the overnight VPOC. I think it's 67 or something like that percent to come up and test the overnight VPOC from below at 2050. And then above 2050, you really don't have much here. We could get stuck in these wicks and rotate in around the 99 and a quarter through to the 07 area. So the areas that I'm going to be watching here is I'm going to be watching the 2002 and a quarter, of course, the range low, and then above that I'm looking for a move up into the 04.25 and a test of the value area low. We do have this little LVN, but more importantly, we have the LVN from overnight at 05.25. Above that, I'm looking for a move to the 0650. Sorry, that's supposed to be target. That's the VWAP in the midpoint from yesterday. Come on. And then above that, then I'm looking for a move in to take out the naked VPOC. If we get inside a range, I'm looking for a move to take out and test the value area high at 0875, and above 0875, our target is 1075, 1150, and I've got to incorporate the 12.25 into the 1150, and then that's the range high from the prior day, and then above there a move to take out the overnight high at 2014, and then we've got the gap fill, still the naked close at 1550, and then all our numbers to the upside all remain the same. Now our upside ATR target is all the way up here at 2032.75. So if we do get above the key line in the sand below, and we do start rotating up through, and we break outside of range, then we get a possibility of setting up for a trend day all the way up to 32.75. Believe it or not, 32.75 is still within our 20-day ATR range. So that's what I'm looking at. It's pretty straightforward right now. The big number and trade level on the open is going to be this 98.75 to 99.25. I think we see some weakness here, and we're likely to take out the overnight low. You got a 96% chance of taking out the overnight low or overnight high, and of course our overnight high is all the way up here at 14. So trading within a few points of the overnight low, and the fact that we're below a psychological number, which is the 2000 level, likely make me to believe that they'll either rotate up and reject the 02.25 and then come through down to take out the overnight low, or fail right off the open, get initiative sellers stepping in and taking us down into the overnight low and probably down into some of these lower numbers to find responsive buyers. So that's what I'm looking at in the ES. I had some problems with my charts this morning, so I don't actually have my gold charts open right now. So I'm not going to bother doing gold this morning. So this is going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.